In this video, we actually make it to sunny Sussex in the Bluebird. Hurrah! So yes, we made it down to Sussex with very nearly no problems at all. There was one slight issue with a bolt on an engine mount coming adrift. I'm not sure if I just failed to tighten it up when I took the cylinder head off, because it attaches to the cylinder head, or if it had actually come loose. But I have tools with me, it was no drama just to wind it back in. It hadn't come all the way out anyway. But cooling system wise, absolutely fine. Driving along at the moment, I've got the heater on. I mean, I wouldn't be prepared to drive this car to Siberia because I think I'd get frostbite. It's still not the most potent of heaters, but there is definitely warm air coming out of the vents, whereas before there was nothing warm in the slightest. Right, a quick further update from the report this morning. We're now at 311 miles. I've just done a live tweet session at HubNutVids. Occasionally, if I can actually get decent enough reception, I will do live videos. And yeah, all is still well. The clutch is still groaning pretty much every time I pull away, unless I'm really, really gentle. So I'm hoping the clutch will be good enough to get me to Margate for the Oso Retro Show on Sunday. And then it's 300 miles back from there to home, and let's hope the clutch is okay. I have got a clutch in the boot actually. I thought I'd bring one just in case, because if it all goes terribly wrong, it's not a particularly difficult car to work on. I can probably find someone who will be able to put a clutch in it. Obviously I'm hoping not to do that. I've got better things to do on this trip, like spend time with family and stuff, and they probably don't really want me disappearing to get a clutch fitted. Well, we're 402 miles into the journey now, and Herne Bay has been reached, and I've just had a quick walk around the town, and frankly I think I've seen all that Herne Bay has to offer. There isn't much here. It does have the oldest clock tower in the UK apparently. Well, it's a chilly morning in paradise this morning, and boy am I glad of the heater. It's currently demisting the car because we're in a very damp field with Nissans. That's two Sunnies and a Micra, and we're about to head to the Oso Retro Show and many more Nissans. Well, you join me at the Oso Retro Show here in Margate, where it's wonderfully sunny, and in more ways than one, because we have here one of the largest, oh, excuse the wind, gatherings of Nissans I have ever seen, and worryingly most of these belong to one man. We've got an extremely rusty Datsun here. Remember these? These used to be everywhere. I haven't seen one for years. A Homey with a V6, Bluebird Estate in lovely conditions, come all the way from Cornwall. And we have Sunnies, one little Micra, and one Bluebird. Yes, it has made it all the way to Margate. Hurrah! Well, isn't that nice? I've just won a prize on the Datsun stand. It's counted as a Datsun even though it's a Nissan, which is what Datsuns became. But yeah, check this out. Most original. Yeah, because the only thing that's non-original is the tyre size is slightly too wide. So I've won most original Datsun. So there you go. Brilliant. Well, we're up to 541 miles now. I think I might have sun cream on the camera lens. It's a little soft focus, so you'll have to bear with me. There is one other problem that has developed on this trip. To be honest, the starter motor has not sounded healthy the entire time I've had this car. I've had occasions where it's failed to engage and I can hear it just spinning. So I'm hoping that's going to last now, so I might have to replace the starter motor as well. But yeah, we're currently cruising along the M26 back to Sussex. Got a couple of days rest, then I'm back up towards Heathrow for a photo shoot on Wednesday, then back down to Sussex, and then we drive home. So all in all, it is stupendously busy times for the Bluebird, and so far I don't wish to push things, but it has performed pretty much faultlessly. So let's see if she can keep going. Today is Monday, and the Bluebird has actually had a day off and hasn't moved at all. So I shall take this opportunity just to say thank you to all the people I met at Oh So Retro yesterday who wanted to have a word about the video channel. Thank you very much. Well, this is disappointing. After driving this Renault Velsatis, the Bluebird won't start. Just got nothing, and it's not that the starter's not. I mean, the starter sounds terrible, but we're not getting anything, so gonna have to investigate. Feels like a fuel issue to me because it caught and idled and then just stopped. So let's get the tools out and have a look. I'm holding this as key possibility at the moment. This is the fuel filter, which is quite old and I haven't changed it. One of those things I meant to do and just happened. So trying to find a bit of pipe, see if we can bypass it and at least eliminate it from our inquiries. Don't seem to have a suitable bit of pipe at the moment, so we'll see what we can do. Alright, let's see if I was right. It doesn't sound like I was right. Starter motor sounds healthier though, up to a point. There you go, she's running again. Squirt a WD in the carburettor and all seems to be a good one. So it does look like the fuel filter was the issue. Perhaps that explains why it was feeling sluggish on the motorways earlier. So I'll temporarily bypass the fuel filter with this bit of pipe. But I think I really need to find a fuel filter. Well, this is a bit frustrating. I cannot get a replacement fuel filter. I mean, it's just a fuel filter, it's nothing fancy, but Halfords can't stock them, Andrew Page can't get them, and Halfords even checked Euro car parts and they don't stock them. So what the hell am I going to do? I'm just going to have to secure my bodge. That is all I can do. So there is my bodge. The fuel filter should be in this section here. Instead we've got a piece of pipe and I've used self-amalgamating tape to try and hold it in place. I didn't manage to get it very deep inside the pipe each side, so I'm slightly concerned, but if I can't get a filter, not very much I can do. Apparently it's an unusual size. Right then. Let's see if that makes a difference, because I've got 2 photo shoots to attend this afternoon and I really don't want to miss them. Next step is to find some lunch and then make my way towards the first photo shoot. Joy of cars, eh? I'm not sure if I'm just imagining it, but it does feel more zingy now. Had a slight issue on the way up here when coming up a hill on the M23, and I had to drop down to 4th gear, and at the time I thought that was pretty unusual. So I think the fuel starvation has perhaps been kicking in for a while. It does seem odd that a fuel filter could jam up to the point that it stops the car running, but there you go. Hopefully that's what it was. Oh, and all this merry disaster brings us neatly to 700 miles on this trip so far. The way we're heading, I think it's going to be 1,000 miles in a week. Well, a week and 1 day if you're pedantic. It's now 70 miles since our little fuel incident and the car is still going well. I would far rather have a fuel filter fitted, but hey, there you go. Oh, what an exhausting day. We're now 149 miles since managing to get this car running properly again. It's 20 to 9 at night. We've covered 849 miles in a week. We've still got to drive back to Wales tomorrow. Oh, but at least the car works. Well, we're 97 miles into the journey home and all is well. So fingers crossed it keeps going this way. We're now at Oxford Services and just had a quick check under the bonnet and everything seems perfect by my standards. Welcome to the M40, where the temperature gauge is rising steadily, nothing is moving, and I'm wondering if I dare turn this car off. push.
That's what I'm worried about.
At least the heater works, so we've got some way of trying to keep it cool. It's not having a massive effect at the moment.
Give it a chance. It'll turn out 2 minutes ago.
That's the reason for my nervousness, and that's the reason we're not going anywhere. Our lane is moving, so will the car actually start? Don't do that to us, car. The Range Rover ahead of us is smoking profusely though, that makes me feel better.
Except that the smoke's coming in our windows.
Well, yeah, apart from that, my glamorous co-driver is off camera. Look at the state of that.
Yeah, it's bad.
There.
It's really bad.
That's a 12-year-old Land Rover smoking like a chimney. Meanwhile, our temperature seems to be dropping again. We're back down to halfway, which makes me feel a whole lot happier. Let's try and not get drip. Ah! The fridge is dripping on our heads. We've got the sunroof open to try and let the heat out from having the heater on because the car's overheating. And now I'm too close to the smoky Range Rover. But the good news is we're moving again. The temperature's back to normal. And we're just about to hit 1,000 miles on this trip so far. So let's hope it's plain sailing from this point on. This is more like it, the Welsh rush hour. It's 5 o'clock in the evening. Lovely. For all those people who ask why I moved to Wales, this is one very good reason. And there you go, we made it back to Wales. It's obviously raining because that's what happens in Wales, but the Bluebird did survive just about an 1,100 mile trip. We covered 1,117 miles in 8 days, and to be honest, I'm really impressed with the Bluebird. I mean, it sails along majestically. It's actually really good for munching along the motorway miles, and it doesn't handle too badly in the twisty bits either. It's really quite a good car, but it is for sale at the moment. You can see a separate video with more details of that. So really, this is the end for Project Bluebird, but it was nice to give it a proper proving run, even if it didn't always go perfectly, and cover so many miles in it and take it all the way to Kent, which is over 300 miles away from this very spot. So anyway, thank you for watching all the exploits of Project Bluebird. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see what projects are coming up next. Hopefully more Proton stuff. And thank you for watching. Farewell.